The idea that you can self-reward the effort process is extremely powerful, because what it means is that if you can recognize agitation, stress, and confusion as an entry point to where you eventually want to go, I do think that even just mental recognition can allow people to pass through it more easily. And then rewarding yourself when you achieve any milestone, like, running to a particular location if you're trying to run a long distance, and then registering that as a partial win. What we know is that the dopamine that's released in response to that suppresses the total amount of adrenaline and gives you more room, more time, more energy to run in the running example. And this is anchored in a real scientific result. It turns out that every time we exert effort, a certain amount of noradrenaline in the brain is released. And there's a sort of a counter in the brainstem. And at some point, enough noradrenaline is released and it shuts down cognitive control, deliberate control over the motor circuitry, and we quit. That's it. But the thing that can restore those levels, or can sort of reset those levels lower and give us more gas, more mileage, is dopamine. And it makes perfect sense because our species had to move against very challenging things in nature and in terms of in culture at every stage of our evolution, including now. 2020 is a good example of this. And someone cracks a joke, you almost immediately feel a sense of relief. It's dopamine's ability to take that level of norepinephrine and smack it back down. And so we can learn this, right? I mean, I think this is where there's real power, like in your story, or the story that I'm familiar with from your book, like the ability to push through those pain points is something that we really can export to other aspects of life because it's the same neurochemicals that are involved. It's a neurochemical thing. It's dopamine suppressing norepinephrine and saying, you're on the right path. You can keep going. It's a permission to keep going. And we grant that permission to ourselves. No one grants that permission to us.
I mean, the thing that I kind of always default to when I hit that breaking point, or, I'm training or I'm racing or whatever, and I'm at that stage where it's just like I can't go any further, the first thing I do is I reflect inward on why I'm doing this to begin with. Like, what is the value system that I'm trying to tap into? What is it that I'm trying to express? Like, what got me to this point? And then I just say, well, I'm just going to get to the next lamppost, or I'm going to, get to the next intersection, or whatever it is. I break it down into the tiny, I'll quit after that. Like, the more I can just root myself in the present moment and distill it down into the tiniest of digestible chunks, that's the only way I can, continue to move forward.